Definitely the 80s. I loved it then, the big shoulder pads, colourful clothes, and every outfit just looked different and it had so much character. I mean, looking back at it now, a lot of people laugh at fashion of the 80s, but I thought it was just great.
Well, I think the most revolutionary would probably be in the 60s, where everybody sort of broke free. It was all about rock and roll, music, free love, and it was very, again, experimental and fun. People pushed boundaries. You had famous models like Twiggy and you had the Beatles. So I think it was a fun time to be in fashion because there was a lot going on.
It fluctuates between the 20s and the 70s. I love the 70s because of the flares and the print and the colors. And the 20s, more of that classic, like fringe look. I would say those are my favorite decades for fashion.
In some ways, I think today it's easy to keep in touch with your loved ones when you're far apart. But back then, without the phones, during dinner times, I feel like people got to talk to each other more or connect better.
Yeah, before it used to be more dating and we talked more and not so much on the phone and texting. So if we needed to speak to each other, we spoke to each other. We didn't text. Like now, you would just text someone and tell them how you feel, or you could even break off texting, which is really not personal.
My time, we didn't have telephones. We had telephones, sorry, we didn't have handphones. So when a boy wanted to ask you out, he'd have to actually call you and have the courage to come up to you and start talking to you. So yeah, I think relationships were a lot more meaningful then and a lot closer. People communicated, people went out for coffee, went out for a meal to get to know each other. Whereas now it's very different with social media.
The person who disciplined me growing up was my grandmother. She was the one with the rotans, and she was the one with the chilies if you don't finish your food, and she was the one that would make you stand facing the wall.
Oh, very, very strict. I mean, I've had a hanger, I've had a belt.
I don't think I ever misbehaved, so I was very lucky then. Not to say that I was super goody-goody, but I was never out of line.
It's different, like our kids now, my kids now, I punish them. I don't hit them because my younger son always says, I'm going to take you to the court, so I'm going to be a bit careful. Yep, so yeah, my parents are very, very strict with us.
I think it was definitely my dad that was more of the disciplinarian. He would sit me down, he would talk about why this is wrong. It would probably start off with him yelling, and then he'll always give us some time to talk about our side of the story, and then we get over it. we live and we learn.
I would say just don't worry so much and just let things go. I'm a constant worrier. I would sit down and my husband would be asking me, "What are you worrying again?" And I'll be, yep. And I worry and I worry and I worry too much. And I would have said, if I could go back in time, I would say, just don't worry, just chill and enjoy life.
I would say that I don't have to be so sensitive to other people's comments, and I don't have to always care about what people think of me, because at the end of the day, if I'm comfortable with myself, if my family and my closest friends love me, then I don't really have to care about what any other third party would say about me.
I wouldn't say that I would be giving different advices and what I would do back then, because back then is a different time, we have different opportunities, and what I had back then was different and now. So now it's a new era, so everything changes also. So I'm very happy with all stages of my life. I've done what I wanted to do, and looking back, and I don't think I have regrets. I really enjoyed my 20s right through to where I am now today.
I would say, don't worry. Everything works out in the end. Everything will fall into place. Don't stress out too much. Just let it be and have fun. Just enjoy the ride. No matter how difficult things are, you'll get over it.